Hello, I am D. Balnarasimha, Assistant Professor of Chemistry, GDC Ramanapet. I in the previous video, which was crystal field theory 1, I explained about postulates or assumptions of crystal field theory and about d orbitals, types of d orbitals, T2g, Eg, dxy, dyz, dzx, dx square minus y square and dz square, and d orbital splitting of octaedral complexes. So, d orbital splitting in octaedral complexes. These things were discussed in the video lecture of mine, which was named Crystal Field Theory 1. So here in this video lecture, I will try to explain d orbital splitting in tetrahedral complexes, and another one is d orbital splitting in sphere planar complexes. So again, we should know that there are 5 d orbitals, and again these 5 3 orbitals are 2 types which lie between the axes are T2g, and which lie along the axis are Eg. Okay, so the probability of finding electrons is high if it is high on along the axis. These are Eg orbitals, and remaining are T2g orbitals. They lie between the axes. So first, before entering into topic, which is d orbital splitting in tetrahedral complexes, again I will brief about d orbitals, types of d orbitals. So here there are 5 d orbitals: dyz, dzx and dxy, and dx square minus y square, dz square. So if you observe dyz, dzx and dxy, these orbitals, four lobes of these orbitals lie between the axes. So they lie between the axes. So these are T2g orbitals. And if you observe the lobes of these dx square minus y square, dz square, they lie along the axis. The lobes lie along the axis. So these are Eg orbitals. So these are, depending on their position, d orbitals are again 2 types, T2g and Eg. What are the T2g orbitals? dxy, dyz and dzx. What are the Eg orbitals? dx square minus y square and dz square. Okay. So next, here in tetrahedral complexes, ligands approach the metal ion between the axes, through between the axes. So here between the axis, here there is x axis, y axis, z axis, right? In tetrahedral complex, the central metal ion is at the center of a cube. The 4 ligands reside at the alternate four corners of the cube. Four corners of the cube, right? So here ligands are approaching the metal ion through between the axes. Here the ligands which lie between the axes, the orbitals which lie between the axes will be their energy will be increased. So T2G orbital energy will be increased because they lie between the axes, and EG orbitals or E orbital energy will be decreased. So because they lie along the axis. So first point we should keep in our mind when while understanding this tetrahedral splitting, d orbital splitting in tetrahedral complexes is ligands approach the metal ion between the axes. So the d orbitals which lie between the axes, their energy will be increased because there is a repulsion between these d orbitals of metal ion or electrons in d orbitals of metal ion and the ligand. So T2G energy will be increased and EG energy will be decreased. Here in this slide we can understand this concept. So here in the absence of ligands, these are 5 degenerate d orbitals, means they are having all d orbitals having the same energy. In the first step, when ligands approach the metal ion, let us consider the approach of the ligands toward the metal ion as two-step process. So in the first step, the ligands approach but produce a hypothetical spherical field. Spherical field means the ligands approach in a spherical manner, so which repels all of the orbitals to the same extent. This repulsion raises the energy of all d orbitals to the same extent. Here all d orbitals energy will be increased to the same extent in the first step. So in this hypothetical spherical field. In the second step, the tetrahedral field splits the d orbitals degeneracy while center of gravity of the orbitals remains constant. What happens here? The 4 ligands are situated in a manner that they lie in between the x, y and z axis, right? So it means T2G orbitals of metal ion will point towards the direction of ligands. So ligands are approaching metal ion between the axes. So these T2G orbitals, lobes of these T2G orbitals will be directed towards the ligand. So there will be a repulsion between these T2G orbitals and ligands. So the energy of these orbitals will be increased. On the other hand, EG orbitals of metal ion will lie along x and y and z axis. As a result, dx square minus y square and dz square orbitals are lowered into any energy to the same extent. So here they lie between the axis, that's why their energy is increased, and they lie between along the axis, that's why their energy will be decreased. If you observe here, it is absolute reverse to the octahedral complexes. Whereas in octahedral complexes, the ligand approach metal ion through the axis. Okay, so EG orbital's energy will be increased. Here, in the case of tetrahedral complexes, the ligand lies between the axes, so that energy of T2G orbital will be increased because the orbitals of T2G lie between the axes. So here the EG orbital, T2G orbital energy will be increased by plus 0.4 delta T. T indicates tetrahedral. The energy of E orbitals will be decreased by minus 0.6 delta T, right? Minus 0.6 delta T. So, and the energy, the difference between Eg, E and T2 is called as tetrahedral splitting energy, okay, or crystal field splitting energy in tetrahedral complexes. Okay, the energy difference between E and T2G is called as crystal field splitting energy or crystal field stabilization energy in tetrahedral complexes. So, in a nutshell, d orbital splitting in tetrahedral complexes, ligands approach the metal ion between the axes, coordinate axis. So, energy of T2G orbitals will be increased by 0.4 delta T, right? Because these T2G orbitals lies between the axes, and the energy of EG orbitals will be decreased by minus 0.6 delta T. Not minus indicates lowering of energy, plus indicates increasing of energy. The difference between is delta T. It is called as tetrahedral splitting energy, right? So, the relationship between octahedral splitting energy and tetrahedral splitting energy is delta T is equal to 4/9 delta O. So, this is the relationship between delta O and delta T. Here, from this formula, it is obvious that delta O is greater than delta T. Means crystal field splitting energy of octahedral complexes is higher than crystal field splitting energy in tetrahedral complexes. Delta O is greater than delta T. So, it is about d orbital splitting in tetrahedral complexes. So, now coming into the d orbital splitting in square planar complexes. So, square planar complexes, if you observe square planar complexes, the coordination number of square planar complexes is 4. So, there should be 4 ligands. If you remove 4 ligands, M indicates metal ion. So, X, Y axis and Z axis. So, if you remove two ligands from Z axis of octahedral complexes, you will get square planar structure. What that means, after removing two ligands from Z axis, we get square planar complex. Here ligand. There are no ligands along the Z axis. So, it is X axis, it is Y axis. So, it is square planar complexes. So, it means the splitting of d orbitals in square planar complexes should be in similar to octahedral complexes, first point. And only there is a difference in regarding with the orbitals which lie along Z axis or which lie between the Z axis. So, first point is, in octahedral complexes, ligands approach metal ion along the axis. So, the energy of Eg orbital will be increased. first point. So here we can understand by this thing. So what happened in octahedral complexes? The energy of d orbitals, T2g orbitals were, Eg orbitals were increased because they lie along the axis. Why it happened? Why it is so? Because the ligands approach the metal ion in the octahedral complexes along the axis. So Eg orbitals lie along the axis. Eg orbitals lie along the axis, and T2g orbitals lie between the axis. So their energy will be lowered. It is about octahedral complexes. Until now, the splitting in d orbitals of octahedral complexes and square planar complexes is same, but there is a small difference that in square planar complexes there are no ligands at all along the z axis. So there will be no repulsion in the orbitals which lie along the z axis or between the z axis. So here what are the Eg orbitals? Dx square minus y square and dz square, right? What are the T2g orbitals? dxy, dyz, dzx. So here there is no ligand along the z axis, so there is no repulsion between these d orbital, dz orbital and ligand, so its energy will be decreased. Its energy will be decreased, dz square, and energy of dx square minus y square will be increased. Dx square minus y square increased. So here Eg orbital further splitted into 2, dx square minus y square and dz square, whereas in case of T2g orbitals, so again there are no ligands along the z axis, so there will be no repulsion about the orbitals of z orbital, okay, dz orbitals. Here if you observe T2g orbitals, dxy, dyz and dzx, there is z element in dyz and dzx, so their energy will be decreased. Here dz, yz and dzx, and energy of dxy will be increased, dxy. So dx square minus y square, dxy, dz square and dyz is equal to dzx. It is the order of energy of d orbitals in square planar complexes. So if you write the order, what will be the order of d orbitals, energy of d orbitals? First dx square minus y square and dxy, because there is no z element is here, so there is no ligand along the z axis in square planar complexes, that's why their energy will be decreased. So here dz square, and again next dyz is equal to dzx. So here there is z, that's why there is no, their energy is decreased. This is the order of d orbital, energy of d orbitals in square planar complexes. We can explain in these things in this slide. So for simplicity I am taking these orbitals as dash dash dash. Here d orbitals, 5 d orbitals, dxy, dyz, dzx and dx square minus y square and dz square, 5 d orbitals. What happens? These d orbitals are further, these d orbitals are splitted right. They split into two types, EG and T2G. Why EG energy of EG orbitals is increased? Because EG orbitals lie along the axis. In square planar complexes also, ligands approach the metal ion along the axis. So EG orbitals energy is increased. Here there is no ligand along the z-axis. So the orbitals which lie along the z-axis and which lie between the z-axis, their energy will be decreased. So here, from here dz square energy is decreased, and here dxy and dyz energy is decreased, and dxy energy is increased. So here dx square minus y square is increased. So it is the d orbital splitting in square planar complexes. So what happened here? Ligands approach the metal ion along the axis. So energy of EG orbital is increased, and again there are no ligands along the z-axis. So the energy of dz square orbital is decreased, and energy of dx square minus y square orbital is increased, and again the energy of dxy orbital is increased. The energy of dxy orbital is xy orbital is increased, and the energy of dyz and dzx orbital is decreased. So wherever z is there, their energy is decreased. So order is dx square minus y square dz square dxy and dz square dxyz and dzx. This is the order. There is a relationship between octahedral complex, splitting in octahedral complexes and splitting energy of octahedral complex and splitting energy of square planar complexes, that delta Sp is equal to 1.3 delta O. So delta Sp is equal to 1.3 delta O. So what does it mean? The crystal field splitting in delta, splitting energy in delta Sp in square planar complexes is higher than crystal field splitting energy in octahedral complexes. So from these two statements, that is delta T is equal to 4 by 9 delta O and delta Sp is equal to 1.3 delta O. So from first state equation, delta O is greater than, we can conclude that delta O is greater than delta T. From here delta Sp is greater than delta O. So from these two relationships we can conclude that, we can derive that delta Sp, that means crystal field stabilization energy or crystal field splitting energy of square planar complexes is higher than octahedral complexes, is higher than tetrahedral complexes. This is the relationship between these crystal field splitting energies of square planar complexes, octahedral complex and tetrahedral complex. So if we compare all these splitting here I am comparing all these things here. So It is for here, it is Eg, that's why it is tetrahedral splitting. Here Eg and T2G, it is octahedral splitting. And here it is square planar, it is square planar. So from this one slide, one photo, we can explain all the d orbital splittings in octahedral, tetrahedral and square planar complexes. In octahedral complexes, energy of Eg will be increased because ligands approach the metal ion along the axis. So Eg orbitals energy will be increased. Why? Orbitals of Eg lies along the axis. So in tetrahedral complexes, the ligands approach the metal ion between the axis. So the orbitals which lie between the axis are T2G. So their energy will be increased. If you observe here, these tetrahedral and octahedral splitting is pure inversely, they are pure inverse, or that reverse. Okay, after that, so there are no Z ligands along the Z axis in square planar complexes. So Z orbital energy will be decreased. So dz square energy will be decreased here, and dyz and dzx energy will be decreased. Dxy energy will be increased. Here dx square minus y square energy will be increased. So until now we have discussed about, in this video particularly part 2 of crystal field splitting, crystal field theory, we have discussed about d orbital splitting in tetrahedral complexes and d orbital splitting in square planar complexes. So crystal field theory explains crystal field stabilization energies and magnetic properties of complexes. So and high spin low spin complexes. So all these things we will discuss in the next video lecture. So it is about crystal field theory. Thank you.